Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees have a replay of the 1960 World Series, but actually fare a little better this time. Take 2 out of 3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a weekend series that, you figure might have been a little sleepy a little bit with, obviously the Yankees out of it, Pittsburgh 10 games behind. But, kind of surprising, there was a decent crowd there. They honored Roberto Clemente for Roberto Clemente Day, but I guess for Pittsburgh and some of the fans there, I guess this is sort of their World Series. The Yankees coming to town. And, of course, I'm sure the Yankee fans there in various parts of Pennsylvania that came to town, as well as maybe some diehard Yankee fans, even though the season's kind of a wash, made the trek there. Again, about a 5-hour drive. I've done it myself. So again, a good weekend series for the Yankees. Solid baseball. Take 2 out of 3. A lot to be happy about. And not only this weekend series, but overall this road trip. Just the way it started, you get the bad news with Jason Dominguez, and it was very easy for this team to sort of put their head in their hands and just kind of give up. But playing a good quality brand of baseball, good clutch hitting, good bullpen, not just relying on home runs. So kind of break down the Pittsburgh series. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. So wherever you're listening to this right now, look for that subscribe button or a follow button. Hit that. Get notified when new content goes up. You get these little series wrap-ups. Get little expose reports. You get a little Yankee history, little Yankee stories. A lot of cool stuff. And plus, we're going to be entering the offseason where I'm sure there's going to be a lot going on as, the Yankees try to improve this roster and get back on their winning ways. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast. So Yankees really had a really good road trip overall, you say. They took 3 out of 4 in Boston. And again, this is just on the backdrop of the news that you don't have Jason Dominguez. And it's very easily for everyone to sort of mail it in. But they called Florial to take his place. And, he was pretty good in the series. Got a couple of clutch hits. Got a big walk in the first game, and that's where we'll start it off. Now, it was a return party for a few Yankees, one of them being Garrett Cole. Again, he came up with Pittsburgh before ended up getting shipped out to Houston. Eventually would make his way via the Yankees via free agency, but again, he did get his career started with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, not the best start in the world for him. Only went 5 innings, just gave up 2 runs. Now, and you kind of see Aaron Boone not really wanting to push him too much. Again, he did have a bunch of walks there, so pitch count was getting high. But again, as the season winds down, I don't think they're going to push Cole too hard. You got to look ahead now for 2024. That's the bigger prize. You want to give Cole an opportunity to pad his numbers a little bit, just so he's in the contention there for the American League Cy Young Award. But of course, again, the greater good is 2024, and not pushing him too much right now at the end of the season when it's kind of unnecessary. But Yankees down early in this game, but it would be to the 9th inning where the Yankees would finally strike. And I can't think of the Yankees having any 9th inning comebacks the entire season. That's just how bad it or un-Yankee like this season has been. I'm sure maybe it happened somewhere. I'm just really off the top of my head, I can't think. But down by score of 5-3 in the 9th, the Yankees would get to work now. Back-to-back singles by DJ and then Judge to get the Yankees started. A walk by Torres. Now Stamp up, a bases loaded. He figures maybe something juicy. He ends up popping out. But then Estevan Florial up, works a big walk, works the count, cuts the lead down to 5-4. And then the Yankee bats chip in. You got an infield hit by Volpe, thanks to a little error by the Pittsburgh infield there. Allows another run to score, ties the score at that point, 5-5. And then Oswaldo Cabrera, with a hit himself, would put the Yankees ahead by a score of 7-5. Again, Yankees swing a 5-3 deficit to a 7-5 lead. And then another returning Pittsburgh Pirate, Clay Holmes, again, Yankees traded for him in 2021, comes on, nails down the save. I guess he's back from whatever COVID or cold issue he had about a week ago, and then nails down the save for the Yankees. And the Yankees, again, have a big comeback win there. Again, something seemingly this Yankee team hasn't had all season. It used to just be a Yankee thing to have a comeback, and for whatever reason, it just hasn't been there for the Yankees. And also extra innings for the Yankees this season has also just been a death trap, especially on the road. So, thank goodness they didn't have to do that, because they almost automatically put the L in on that one. So, Yankees come away with the very satisfying 7-5 win. I guess with all the fan, Roberto Clemente, and on the road like that, I don't know. And again, the season's kind of over for them, but overall, you may say it was one of the maybe top 5 and maybe top 10 best, most satisfying wins of the season for the Yankees, just given the way they came back like that. And again, using small ball, using clutch hitting. Okay, you got a little help from Pittsburgh's little sloppy defense there, but still, overall, that's what you like to see. That's the type of baseball that wins, long term. So again, hopefully that's a philosophy they could bring in 2024, which then brings the Yankees to the second game. And the Yankees pretty much, it was close early on. The Yankees pretty much had this well in hand. Now Luke Weaver, who the Yankees picked up off waivers just to get a starter in there, a few days ago, making his debut for the Yankees. Wasn't that great. Ended up giving a couple of runs there, but it was really Yankee bullpen that was really the star of the show of this one. Mainly Johnny Brito going 3 innings, no earned runs. I mean, he's been, quite resourceful out of the bullpen. Maybe he's going to be the new Michael King if they make Michael King a starter next season. So lately, they've been using him and Vasquez a lot out of the bullpen. And again, both been pretty nifty there. And with the combination of Hamilton and then finally Clay Holmes again in the ninth inning on back-to-back nights, closed it out. Got a home run by Giancarlo Stanton. And then also late in the game, got a home run by Oswaldo Cabrera. Now, the interesting with Cabrera, that early in the day, him and Florial visited the Roberto Clemente Museum, and they actually physically touched or were able to hold one of Clemente's bats. So in the game when Cabrera hit the home run, they all credited to the Roberto Clemente bat. And I think that was his first home run since the Dodgers series. Now, that was the game, actually, Aaron Judge went through the wall. Remember, that was the time when Cabrera got sent down for like one day, got called up, and then ended up hitting a home run his first game back there. So this kind of interesting circle him, and it's kind of sad in a way, just the way the power hasn't been there for him this season, compared to last season when he looks like I had a little pop in his bat. But nevertheless, the Yankees come away, take the first two games of the series by a score of 6-3, and you look like, hey, Yankees are 3 games over 500. Wow, it seems like forever. Since that's been the case with this team, which then brings us to the finale. Now, this was a game, fortunately, it was kind of a tight game both ways. Yankees were down by a score of 2-1. Now, you did get a home run from Volpe in the game, which would tie it 2-2. And with Rendon in the mound, this was actually probably Rendon's definitely his longest outing at 6 2/3 innings. But unfortunately, it would come away with a loss, and a little bad luck for him. So, catcher Jason DeLay with a line ground shot. Now, it was going towards the third base bag. Now, Peraza was there, but the ball hit off the bag. That allowed a game-winning run to score there. Now, Orson Welles would get a hit in the ninth inning there, but unfortunately, the Yankees weren't able to drive him in, and the Yankees would have to take the 3-2 loss there, so not able to complete the sweep. But again, you just like what you saw from this team overall, especially the first game, climbing back. The second game, they kind of jumped out to an early 3-0 lead, and, the game stayed relatively close, but you always kind of felt the Yankees had that one in hand. And even this game, they were down 2-1. You get a good clutch home run for Volpe to tie it up, and again, just an unfortunate shot off the bag there, which of course the Yankees, and kind of interesting, this was the season where they increased the size of the base pad, so it's kind of interesting. If this was a year ago, would have that happened? Just something to think about. But nevertheless, I think you'll take overall this road trip. I guess a 5-2 road trip, you would take that overall. For this Yankee team, again, just playing a little bit better brand of baseball, not just relying on home runs. So that's what with the Yankees. So they fall to 76-74, just 2 games over 500. And now we'll host the Toronto Blue Jays come to town. Clark Schmidt will get the first nod there in that opening game. Now, some other Yankee news. They finally decided on what to do with Jason Dominguez. They're going to go with the Tommy John surgery option. Now, that's scheduled for September 20th, so I believe that's this coming Wednesday. And then, again, the timetable of that is anywhere from 9 to 10 months. So you're probably looking at a situation where he's not back till July 2024, and it's kind of like halfway through the season. It's just unfortunate that's the way it is. So, the Yankees got to bend the grade of that. And also, interestingly, on the injury news front, actually, Yankees scheduled a start for Frankie Montas. Yes, now he's back in the picture. Pitched 1 inning of AAA ball there, gave up a hit and a run. Nothing really, grand there, but Boone did at least plant to see that it is possible you might see him up here on the big league level at some point with these remaining games of the season. Why? But okay, I understand it. Whatever. I mean, if he's healthy and he's good pitch, and he's got to work his way back. Well, then you got to throw him some competitive baseball. He is under contract, but I don't know where they would pitch him. I mean, I can't see him giving him a start at home, and he's just going to get booed and trashed. And again, at most, he's not going to make a full start. It's just probably, maybe he'll pitch an inning or two. So if he has to take a little abuse in front of the Yankee Stadium crowd, maybe it'll only be an inning or two. But nevertheless, this is kind of interesting. He did come back. Now, originally, when he had the surgery, they were saying possibly he would be back by August. Well, they were way off on that one. But again, he was someone who was never going to be in the Yankees' plans this season. Just once he got the surgery, you kind of knew he was pretty much going to be, finished. So I guess this 1 inning is, I guess he's getting paid millions for this 1 inning. He's going to pitch probably at some point before the year is done. So as we got with the Yankees, end this road trip on a good note. Take 2 against Pittsburgh. Jason Dominguez, unfortunately, going on the knife. He's going to be gone for quite a while. Bummer. And then Frankie Montas might be coming to a theater near you. Catch you next time.